Good evening, everybody, and thanks for logging on to our Facebook page or our Twitter page here, the BAM Chase team. We're looking at all different kinds of weather. We've got extreme heat coming in to central Indiana. We've had flooding rainfall now across portions of Texas. Some of the heaviest rainfall totals in a 24-hour period that I've ever seen, that a lot of people have probably ever seen as far as rainfall totals go. Take a look at this now over here in the panhandle of Florida. And the rain is just hanging out. It's just sitting there. Flooding rain's going on. We've had Doppler estimates as much as 31 inches of rain. Just crazy amounts here. No sign of it really moving over the next 6 to 12 hours. It should start to pull out by tomorrow morning. Storm total rainfall. We actually had to modify our color table here to illustrate the amount of rain that has fallen here. Check out over portions of the southern panhandle in Crawfordville, Florida, Medart, Florida. Your Doppler estimates over 30 inches of rain in the past 24 hours. Beach erosion, you name it down there, it's happening. They've got a pretty terrible situation going on. This entire tropical storm, it will pack up. It's going to track straight east right out into the eastern portion of Florida here. Now, it's possible that over the next few days, this thing could regenerate and maybe possibly turn into a hurricane as it moves up the east coast of the United States. Latest computer model guidance suggesting it stays off of land, but anything's possible. You know how quickly these things change. At the first of the week, we thought it would track west into portions of Texas. So we'll keep an eye on that. Let's get into our show now. We've got our updated drought map here. Obviously, southwest Indiana, you're in an extreme drought conditions. Your crops down there are already beginning to die, shrivel up, fade away. Crops here are still doing okay out of Greenwood, Indiana. We're kind of surrounded by fields, but in the next few days, they're really going to begin to fade away, I think. Especially, you can see that the moderate or severe drought conditions here north of the state. Even when we had the 7-inch rainfall totals here in western Indiana last week, I believe it was Wayne County. Yes. Wayne County, Indiana, we had like 7 inches of rain. And that barely did, I mean, they're still in they're abnormally dry. So we're looking at, we're 6 inches below normal on rainfall. We've gone 21 days without a measurable rain. The record is 25 straight days set back in 1983. We're going to do it. We're going to do the driest June ever on record. And we could go the longest stretch of days ever on record with no rainfall. With that being said, we jump into a burn ban map. The latest burn ban map out of 4:30 this evening from the Indiana Department of Homeland Security. 60 counties now included in the burn ban. It's a matter of time before this fills in, next couple of days. The county up north here, actually that was Warren County, wasn't it? Warren County that received, I'm sorry, it wasn't Wayne, it's Warren that received the flooding rains. The burn ban was lifted there due to that storm that camped out there last week. Everywhere else, though, just do not mess with fire. We had a red flag warning today, so make sure we take that pretty seriously. The drought here, basically this is an easier illustration for y'all to understand, to read. Severe drought in effect. Extreme drought to our south and west. This will expand farther north and east. No rain through Thursday. These are professional AccuWeather graphics. You can choose from which ones you want to use. I don't really agree with no rain through Thursday. There are slight chances Friday, Saturday, Sunday evening. As we get some daytime heating here, we could be dealing with some thunderstorms. We got a strong cap in place. We're warm all the way up to 500 millibars. I'm not too concerned about it, but there's a very small chance that it does exist. As Debbie pulls out the next couple of days, like we said, flooding, wind gusts to 40 miles per hour, and some beach erosion occurring. Over the next 240 hours, we talk about rain here, we talk about rain in Florida. You can obviously see the major flooding rains going on here, the majority, this is the 7 a.m. run of the European model, the majority of this rainfall here will occur in the next probably 6 to 12 hours, as we were talking about, but they're looking at another 5 inches plus of rain by this time tomorrow. So some places could end up with 40 inches of rain by the time this thing is said and done. 240 hours, 10-day total here. We're not looking at barely any rain, 1/100th, possibly a tenth of an inch of rain, maybe with some of these disturbances are going to ride down on the east side of this ridge maybe and bring a couple isolated thunderstorms. We've gone over the charts here for the last 2 days, and Brian and I both have gone over it. I mean, we've just watched thickness calculations, the meters go up. We've watched, it's just getting warmer and warmer every run, and we think that could only lead to a prolonged stretched period of 90-degree temperatures. We're forecasting 102 Thursday. We've sat around and crunched numbers now for the past 2 days, just trying to figure out, how hot it's going to get. You remember anything this hot in June?
No, I don't. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, I mean, heat in this time of the year in June, it's unbelievable. I mean, it's we haven't done it. Our record is 101, set back in 1934, and it's very possible. I think we're going to break that record Thursday. If we don't hit 101 at the airport, all around central Indiana is going to be in the triple digits, and it could even be warmer than that. I mean, we've got 850 temperatures approaching 40 degrees Celsius, or I'm sorry, 30 degrees Celsius, 850 temperatures approaching. You take that up from a SKU-T, you heat it dry adiabatically all the way down to the surface, and you're looking at 105-degree temperature possible at the surface. So we get in now to 7 a.m. Thursday. Check out the massive heat. This is the 850 temperatures, 25 to 30 degrees, 30 degrees plus 850 temps out here in the Central Plains. We get in to Friday, or actually, I'll bring you to the next point, dew points for Thursday. So we have the 25 to 30 degree 850 temperature. And you ask yourself, what could keep us from getting 100 degrees? It could be the moist air. Moist air is harder to heat up. The dry air heats up quicker, okay? So
it's just like your guys' pools back at home, pools or lakes or whatever. When they talk about the heating of that water, it's the same thing with the air.
Correct. So, in a nutshell, if it's drier, we're going to heat up quicker. This is 8 p.m. Thursday evening, possibly 65-degree dew points, lower 60-degree dew points. That's not extremely moist air. It's still possible to heat that air. If we were 65 and above, approaching 70-degree dew points, I think we would have an issue and maybe scale back temperatures into the upper 90s. I personally don't think it's going to be a problem. Friday, however, the dew points will surge up. We'll get into the 70s in dew points Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And the heat index values will be in the triple digits. It's just going to be downright miserable. Friday, you can see the heat still hanging on. I think we're going to be maybe 2 to 3 degrees cooler Friday, as we'll get a Q field moves in late day. We'll possibly get an isolated shower, an isolated thunderstorm. It's not going to be any relief from the drought, but hey, it's something to look forward to. Saturday morning, you can see by day 5, still have the heat hanging around. We're forecasting 93 Saturday. It's going to be a lot more humid, a lot more moist. It's going to be harder to heat that air and get into the upper 90s. European ensembles all the way out to 348 hours. We're looking at temperature, 850 temperatures, still in the 20 plus category. Latest charts here going out 10 days. We're back into 578 thicknesses, 579, 575. A thickness is a measurement of the thickness of the air in meters, and obviously the thicker the air, the more heat it's going to be able to hold. And we're looking at just a prolonged period of above normal temperatures. I don't see any relief for the drought, at least through mid-July. We could be looking at a catastrophic drought setting up, crops being damaged statewide. Brian's lived here almost his entire life. He's a bit older than I am. I mean, there just hasn't been anything this bad set up since what? 1988.
1988 was the last time we've had a drought this bad. So, and it even goes further on into July, almost August. So
right.
This year could be just as bad.
Exactly. And last time we had temperatures in the triple digits in June was in 1934. Everybody knows 1930s, the Dust Bowl of the 1930s was horrific. I'm not saying it's going to be that way, but history has a way of repeating itself, and so we'll sit back and see what happens. We've got 102 forecasted for Thursday. The record is 101, set back in 1934. We jump to 99 Friday. Isolated storm chances through the weekend, and we stay in the 90s. We'll update more as we get more in, guys. As always, thanks for logging on to our page, and we'll see you next time.